Okay, we've been a whole year without Bocchi the Rock. It's crazy that 1 year ago the show first aired, and it's also crazy that it's been like we've been Bocchiless for like a whole year. Get it? Holeless? No? Tough crowd, tough crowd. But yeah, Bocchi the Rock. It's really one of those anime that became like a sensational hit pretty much overnight, along with other series such as Spy Family and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. To me, those three are probably like the best series like for people to get into anime beginner wise, because they have such like simple tones. They're pretty easy to follow. But with Bocchi the Rock, I think it's kind of different from like the other two. Why? Because it's so different. Like it has almost every other genre inside it. Like the animation wise, like that went into like Bocchi the Rock is insane. Like if you've seen some of the animation and some of the like effects that Bocchi the Rock does, it's pretty crazy and it's pretty out there. It's more like of an experimental like type of anime, like where the animators were able to try different effects, do different things. And I'm gonna be honest, this is one of those series that absolutely needed an anime. If you've read the manga's kind of plain. It kind of reminds me of those old 1930s comics where like stuff happens square by square, but nothing too interesting, nothing too complex. But with the anime, so much stuff is happening at the same time. It is insane. This is really one of those shows that needed like an anime. I never even knew it was based off a manga. I thought it was based off like a light novel or something like that. But if you're not familiar, the manga sales grew exponentially by the time the anime finished airing, and that tells you something. I looked at the manga. It is so much different than the anime. Like some of the effects, some of the like facial expressions, they're not there in the manga because you can only do so much in manga format compared to anime format. But to me, this is one of those series where you can say the anime definitely surpasses its source material, and I would 100% agree. Bocchi the Rock has had such a big shift, big impact on the anime community in general, if we're being honest. Like, so many people became fans of the show pretty much over instantly. To me, it took me about to like episode 4 or 5 to get into the show because that's when I started to watch it. I never really watched it like off the bat, just because I thought it seemed a bit generic, because it had a similar premise to K-On! And I think a lot of people were first turned off by the fact that it's similar to K-On! You have anime girls doing anime girl things, playing musical instruments. Come on, like that sounds pretty similar to K-On! But after watching it, it is so different from like K-On! Because Bocchi the Rock does so many things. It's so out there, it's so experimental. I think that's why people like it. Also the fact that it's pretty relatable. Like the main character, you can say Bocchi is literally me. I think you've seen all the memes where Bocchi is me, Bocchi is Ryan Gosling, blah blah blah. You've seen all the fan art, you've seen all the merchandise, you've seen all the animation takes, like you've seen like all the Chainsaw Man X Bocchi the Rock crossovers. They're pretty goddamn funny. They're pretty funny. But yeah, Bocchi the Rock out there. Why is it so relatable? Why do people talk about it? Let's talk about the plot. Let's talk about the plot just a little bit. So the thing with Bocchi, like her whole thing is she's socially anxious. It's not like that she's introverted. It's that she physically and mentally cannot make any friends. So essentially the plot follows her trying to start up a band. She's just now entering high school. She wants to meet as many people as possible. She wants to get famous, join a band, have someone recognize her. But the thing is, she can't. Why? Because she's socially anxious. And you might be thinking, what's the difference between that and introverted? Well, introverted is when you just don't really want to talk to people. You just kind of want to be left alone. Her thing is, she wants to talk to people. She wants to make friends. But she physically, emotionally cannot. She cannot, because she imagines such extreme scenarios where like if she talks to someone, they'll instantly reject her because she's never really had a friend. The only friends that she's ever had is her family. And I think right off the bat, a lot of people can kind of relate to this character, mostly because, oh, she's me. I don't have friends, I don't talk to people, blah blah blah. That's cool and all. It's not cool at all. But if you suffer from social anxiety, you probably do need a little bit of help. The difference between that and introverted, like I said, introverted is when you genuinely just don't want to talk to people. You kind of want to be left alone. Similar to what Rio, she doesn't really like people, but she wants to be left alone. But she does like talking to some people. Extroverted people are like, I think it's Nichkata or Kita. I get them confused, but they're kind of like them extroverted people. They like to be outgoing. They like to talk to people. They are super hyper. But Bocchi's case, she is yes there. She cannot bring herself to talk to people because she tends to imagine such wild scenarios, and the entire plot essentially revolves around her trying to make friends, trying to meet people, trying to start up a band, which she ultimately ends up forming, Kasoku Band, and she has to learn how to play guitar in front of people. She can play behind the camera, but she cannot physically play it in front of people because she thinks people are gonna reject her. But towards the end of the season, she finally learns to do that, but she still has a hard time. I think one of the best things about the show is it doesn't instantly change a character overnight. She doesn't suddenly develop a extroverted, like, oh, I love talking to people, I love talking to you, be my friend. No, she's still kind of shy. Like, it slowly develops from her like not being able to talk to people to somewhat being able to talk to people. Like, she can, but she still imagines those crazy ass scenarios, and I think that's what makes the show pretty good, because you do see some development, but you do see more like character development of something that would be kind of realistic, because for people to change, it takes time, it takes years, it doesn't suddenly happen overnight. And with what Bocchi the Rock does, I think it does it super well, because it shows her at the beginning like, oh, I can't talk to people, hi, I want to talk to you, but I can't. But then towards the end of the season, she's like, yay, I can talk to people, but I kind of look stupid doing that. Like, it shows a little bit of growth in her character, and it's pretty fascinating. The things she does, the things Kasoku Band does, it's pretty fascinating. And you have other characters that make the show pretty memorable. You have Nichikata, Kita, Rio. Rio's like that one girl that's introverted. She doesn't really like people, but she likes money. She's kind of like me. Oh, I don't want to talk to people, I just want your money. Please give me money. I'll talk to you, but give me money. She's a pretty cool character. Then you have Nichikata. I think that's the one with the Dorito girl. Like, her hair looks like a Dorito. There's been plenty of memes about that. Then you have Kita. Like, she's this extroverted girl. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the memes where she's like in her maid outfit doing omu rice, the rice thing. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. Like, to me, I'll occasionally catch myself rewatching the show from time to time, clips every now and then. Yes, I get a good laugh, or whatever the case is, because you guys have seen the memes, you have seen the fan art about this series. It's pretty damn entertaining. Like, would I say it's a series that's worth watching 1 year later? Hell yeah, it's a series that's absolutely worth watching a day, a week after. If you want to have like a good time, if you want to cheer yourself up, go watch the show, because it is such a memorable show. It's something so easy. It's only like 12 episodes. It's so easy to watch. Same thing with like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, where you can catch yourself rewatching it. Bocchi the Rock, I constantly like see myself rewatching this show. Like, I'd be watching clips on TikTok, on YouTube, on my computer. Like, I'd be rewatching the show at times. Like, a few weeks ago, I ended up rewatching like most of the season. Yes, for fun. Like, it's pretty funny. Like, the humor feels natural. Like, everything about it, it's pretty fun. Some of the effects, the animation style, like I said, goes crazy. And like, you've seen so many people do fan arts. Like, almost every convention I have personally been to so far, I've seen so many Bocchi the Rock cosplayers, from guys to girls doing it, from like Bocchi wearing like a box. It's absolutely hilarious and ridiculous how many people love this series. And is it worth watching a year later? Yeah, 100% worth watching. Like, if you're not watching this series, if you have not watched the series, I don't understand why you haven't, because all the characters are pretty memorable, the characters pretty relatable, and like, in general, it's just a pretty fun show. If you want to have like a good time, if you want to relax, I 100% would recommend watching Bocchi the Rock, because it is pretty good. And recently, like a few months ago, they announced that we're going to do a Bocchi the Rock like a movie, which is basically like a compendium of like the 12 episodes. They're just going to make it into like a short Bocchi the Rock film, like a 2-hour film, which I most likely will end up watching, because come on, Bocchi the Rock, it's a pretty good show. It is a pretty good show. Would I watch it even though it's recycled for the movie? Yeah, I will go watch it. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on Bocchi the Rock 1 year later. Do you guys love this show? Do you hate it? If you hate it, I want to know why you hate it. But that being said, I'll catch you guys on my next one. This was Bocchi the Rock 1 year later. I wonder when we'll get a season 2. When? I don't know, but I like it.